What's up, everybody? This is podcast Gameoverse episode 137. Saturday, March 18, 2023. I am Wasabi Ice Cream, joined as always my dude Rick. What's up?
Yo, what's up, everybody? We got a show for you.
Yeah.
Quite a few new trailers, videos have been announced. I love that. Just yeah. Quite a few new things have been announced. We got some news from the PlayStation Plus catalog getting updated. Was something that should have been there from the beginning, but it took them a year to get it. So whatever. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Let's start where we always start, man. Tell the people what you've been playing.
Exoprimal.
Yes, I wanted to hear about this. That game looked fucking incredible. But what was your opinion on the beta?
A beta's out. I played that beta, and let me tell you, man. I 180'd on this harder than I 180'd on that Last of Us show.
I want to hear your opinion on that too, because I didn't think it was bad. But let's start with this first. So, what was your beef with Exoprimal? Because it looked pretty good, and I don't know how the beta could fuck it up. Was this a performance issue, or was the core gameplay just not as appealing as you thought it was going to be?
So when they showed this game off, right?
Mm-hmm.
The expectation was, oh shit, dude, this looks like an Earth Defense Force, but with dinosaurs, right? That's what everyone was expecting. What I was expecting.
Yeah.
So imagine my surprise when you load this game up, and it's a 5v5 fucking PvP game.
Oh no! What?
Not only that, but it's straight up Overwatch, dude. It's literally, it has everyone you can name from Overwatch has their version of that character in this. There's a Hanzo, there's a Genji who's kind of like a tank in this, but there's a Reinhardt, there's a Ana, there's a Pharah. Anyone you can name from Overwatch has an analog.
Wait, how does the dinosaur shit come in then if it's a 5v5
so the dinosaur
thing?
shit, okay, so what it is, it's 5v5, and it's you're competing. You don't. So the other team and you both have you run through these streets. Clay's in here.
Okay. Hell yeah, what up, Clay?
All right, Clay's in here, and he's also Trayvon is in here. What's up? All right, there's some confusion also in the chat about what this game is as well. So let me explain. It's a 5v5. Yeah, it's a 5v5 PvPvE game, I guess is what you can call it, where both teams compete against each other. There's two waves basically. There's two. Hamtaro's in here. He says no campaign. Let me finish. Let me finish.
It was just the beta.
Guys.
It was just the beta, so.
Well, no, this is the main game mode though. When you load it up, they're this is the main mode. So if there is a campaign, I don't know, because yeah, they did show some story stuff. I'm okay, how does this play out? Anyway, it's 5v5 PvPvE. So two teams compete to complete certain objectives along a map, right? And you can't directly interact with the other team. Basically, you run down this street and it goes, hey, raptors spawning, and you basically just have to kill these waves faster than the other team. And then you just go and you go and you go, the shit spawns, you gotta kill shit faster. It's you're ahead of the other team, or you're behind the other team. And that's basically it. You do that for maybe 3 minutes, and then the second phase starts. And the second phase is straight up PvP. It's straight up Overwatch. Literally, then the other team, you go into this alternate dimension where you can actually see and interact with the other team. And then it's straight up Overwatch. You're pushing a payload. You're collecting.
No way! What? That's
the dinosaurs straight up disappear, right? And you're just fighting the other team in straight up PvP. It's the worst I've never been so disappointed in my life. playing this shit, and I was like, "Are you?"
That's so obnoxious. I'm
And then
like
it's like,
upset. I was expecting like Left 4 Dead with dinosaurs,
yeah,
or
exactly,
or
exactly.
Defense Force with dinosaurs, or any wave-based shooter with dinosaurs. But no, it's like that's like the first part of it, and then the next part is like Overwatch.
Yeah. And then because so you start off with like this tutorial and it's like, hey, you can cuz I thought there was only going to be like 4 frames or whatever, right? Cuz like I'm thinking it's like, yeah, I'm thinking it's like a Left 4 Dead where you just here's the tank one, here's the one with like all the guns, here's the one that can fly or whatever. But you do the tutorial, it's like you can switch between them at any time, and there's like 7 or 8 of them. So you're like, oh shit, this is deeper than like I thought it was, man. There's a healer, there's like, and they've got all these different abilities. You're like, oh, this is really cool. But then you get into the game and it's Overwatch, and that's why there's so many different frames you can use, is because you can you have to switch between them, because once it turns into PvP, it's like, yeah, you need a tank, you need a healer, you need a guy that does damage, you need all these different classes, because yeah, it's a fucking PvP game. Uh,
That's so frustrating. I don't like that.
all right, so Clay says you don't fight the other team in phase 1. In phase 2, are there dinosaurs? So phase 2 is like a random. Uh, Whatever you're doing in phase 2 is random. So it can, like, there can be dinosaurs, but the dinosaurs don't matter. The dinosaurs are like secondary. Um, to like you're like pushing a payload, right? So if you're pushing the payload, the other team is there and they're pushing their own payload, and then like maybe dinosaurs are spawning, but you shouldn't even mess with the dinosaurs because the other team is what's more dangerous at that point. So it's like you should just ignore the dinosaurs if you can, and then like it's super hard to explain, man, because it just doesn't make any sense. It's like the premise is like it's a competition to like develop a new weapon, basically. So you're testing these frames for this like company. You're testing these frames, and then they send you into these battles to develop the latest weapon technology, to see whichever one comes out on top. It's it's dumb.
That's really frustrating.
Clay says if Team A wins phase 1, Team B wins phase 2, who wins? Tie, overtime? That's a good question. I don't know. I played 3 rounds of this before I gave up. Before I was like, this is stupid. So, uh, so I don't totally know how. I don't know. I don't totally know. I think whoever wins phase 1 gets a bonus for phase 2. I think phase 2 is like the only one that matters. Because you can summon a dinosaur and then fight the other team with that dinosaur. And whoever wins phase 1 unlocks that. So you can see here in the gameplay, I'm showing some gameplay footage when I played it. This one is charge the hammer. So basically you have to pick up this object, take it to different like stations, charge it up, and then take it into the other team's base and like destroy their like shit. Right? And that's what it is. You just take this thing and like it's like bomb delivery almost. You just deliver a bomb to the other team to destroy them. And while that happens, yeah, there are dinosaurs basically. Like you defeat dinosaurs to charge it, but like it's like secondary because what you're trying to do is destroy the other team. So
That's oh, I'm so disappointed now. I was really excited for this, and now I'm like, damn it.
which I've not been following this game heavily, but it does mention this on the store page. So that I had to look back and I was like, at what point did they say that this is what this game was? Because I did not. I just caught me completely by surprise. So
I mean, is it fun at least? Like a fun Overwatch clone?
um
I mean,
no.
it's free on Game Pass. Like, I think it's worth like a play on Game Pass.
I mean, it's worth a look on Game Pass if like yeah, because you know if it's on Game Pass, it's whatever. But it's just like I guess yeah, there's like there's fun to be had. Everything like shoots like everything plays it plays well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just as soon as you get into like the Overwatch part of it, it's not great.
It just takes
Uh,
a big fat dump like all over
yeah,
itself.
like the Overwatch part is like super uninteresting. And
That's really annoying.
all you want to do is kill dinosaurs, and it's just like no. Um, yeah, I don't know. It was super disappointing, man, to load this up and like find out it's a 5v5. Man, you guys are tripping with this.
That's really obnoxious. I'm like really annoyed by this. No, I'm legit like upset. Like that's shitty. Oh
Yeah,
my god. Well, that's it for me. I was all excited to play it, but I couldn't because my kid was fighting the day the beta dropped. That night the beta dropped, and by the time we put him to bed, it was like late. And I was tired, so I didn't play it. And I've
yeah,
just been hella
it's
busy. So I don't have time to play it at all.
yeah. I was like, I'm gonna play this all night, dude. I've been waiting for this. This looks amazing, and then
Yeah,
and then I'm like, oh, this is what this game is, huh? So yeah, I played 3 rounds of it, and then I was like, I'm done with this. I'll give it a shot. The beta, the open beta is still going. It has cross platform, so you can play with like anyone. Though Joker, friend of the show, Joker jumped in when I was playing this, and we tried to play with each other. It has you set up a Capcom ID for
yeah.
crossplay, and it didn't work. Basically,
I was
you
so
like
excited to play the game. I set up a Capcom ID like on my lunch break that day, just so I'd be ready to play like that night.
yeah, it didn't work. We couldn't join each other. So, but it looks like they they could not have gone wrong just making an EDF, man. If they just made an EDF, it would have been
Yeah, that's what I
fantastic.
thought it was gonna be. That just makes sense. Like,
Yeah. But maybe there is some other mode that has, you know, maybe the secondary mode is the one you want. I don't know, because they're definitely advertising this as the mode. Like this is the one. So it's the one that's advertised on the story page as being the main mode. So it's a bummer. It's a bummer. I was super
it's a
bummed out.
huge bummer. Yeah, me too. That's bullshit. I feel cheated. Those bastards lied to me.
Yeah. Yeah, when you figure out it's an over like straight up Overwatch, dude. Like you can switch your character at any point, and you'll see the Overwatch analogs. You like every Overwatch, not everyone, but like the core Overwatch cast is represented here like entirely. Um, it's pretty funny, but crazy to
That's
me.
obnoxious as hell, man.
So, um, yeah. So that's Exoprimal.
That's obnoxious as hell.
uh,
I'm like really upset to hear that. Oh well, like, ah, damn it. I mean, what are you gonna do? What the fuck are you gonna do? I guess. Um, let's hear about a good game. How was Steam World Dig 2? Because you finished that, right?
Finished it. Great game. You should play it. It's probably there's a Steam sale going on right now. It's probably like $5 in the sale. I don't
I'm not
know.
gonna have time to play it. I wish I did, but I'm not gonna have time to play it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I might just pick it up so when I do have time, I just fall into it. I still haven't beaten the first Steam World though.
Neither have I. I've never played any of the other ones, so it's not like this one kind of is standalone. So
That's good.
it's $5 right now. So yeah, great game. So tried to 100% it, and I kind of did. I got all the artifacts basically, and it was good enough. So Very
That's
good
good.
game. Very good game.
That's good. I'll have to pick it up and try it. I'm still playing. I picked up Wolcen
Yep.
Lords of Mayhem.
Okay.
It's not bad. I got it for like $10. I think it's worth $10. It's an ARPG that got crowdfunded years ago, like many years ago. But its original name was Umbra, which looked incredible. So I was excited for this to come out. And then the plan for Umbra got scrapped, and it became this, which honestly, it's not bad. A little generic compared to like what we were promised with Umbra, but it's not bad. It's not a bad time. Um, it's got a pretty interesting progression system because the game doesn't have classes, right? It has a skill tree where you can improve your stats, go in a specific direction. There's skill trees for things like agility, for attacking, for spell casting. And what's cool with the resources is that it's not like a bar that fills up. So it's a single bar with two sides to it. And as you use magic, you drain the wisdom bar. But as you're draining the wisdom bar, it builds up into the rage bar. And that's what you use for like a lot of physical attack abilities. So things like your melee class would use their rage to cast their abilities, or the some of the range classes will use rage to, throw weapons around, or to pull out a machine gun and just start firing at people, put down a turret. So there's this really cool like tug of war here. So I learned like playing like a ranged spellcaster is the best option because you could use your magic spells to drain that wisdom bar because that fills up automatically over time. And as you drain that wisdom bar, it fills up the rage bar. So then you use your rage skills, and as you drain that rage, it fills the wisdom bar back up again. So that's something I'm having some fun playing around with. The actual skills, though, are randomly generated. So as you play through the game, you can do some quests and unlock these skills, but you have to physically like equip them to your character. You have a certain amount of slots to equip these skills to. And those skills level up independently. So as you use it, you level it up, and you can apply points to it to change how it works. So there's some cool shit here for how you want to play the game out. And the only requirement for the skills, there's no like class requirement, level requirement. The only requirement is the weapon you're carrying. So the skill will tell you, oh, you need a melee weapon, you need a ranged weapon, you need a staff or a casting item. So there's some customization how you want to build your character out. And because it's so free and open, if you invest in one spot, you can just reset it really easily, reinvest your points. It's pretty cool the way it's set up, and I like it a lot. It's not going to do it. It's not doing anything too new to set the world on fire. I think Path of Exile might do the same idea better, but it's not bad with how it's played out. I liked it so far.
I tried playing this when they added controller support, like sometime last year, and it just performed like dog shit, dude. It was just
Yeah,
unplayable. So I don't know. I would love to get into this because as a Path of Exile alternative, even though like I loaded up Path of Exile recently, like a couple days ago,
yeah,
and I just fell in love with it again. I was like,
yeah.
yeah, there's nothing out. Yeah, like nothing comes close, man. It's like, yeah. Um, so I don't know. Path of Exile was like, it stood the test of time. Like like Path of Exile isn't immediate. It wasn't immediate. Like it took me a while for it to, or it took a while for it to get there for me, just in terms of like controller support, basically. But like performance and everything, just fine tuning everything over time. Like it took a while to get there, and now like it's like there for me. Um, so,
And
but it
that's
was
cool because this game is pretty fun, and like that's what I like about it is that it is a fun game at its core. It's a little people have said there's like a bunch of jank with it. I haven't experienced any jank really. Um, that's not true. I'm playing two characters right now. I'm playing a more melee focused character, which I'll probably scrap because focusing on melee is kind of silly in this game when it gives you such an easy way to multi-class. Yeah, that's always my problem with a lot of games that let you multi-class because if you invest points in like I always wanted to do like a spell casting like soldier type character, right? You know, someone who does like melee attack. IGN gave it a 5.
IGN gave this a 5.
I mean, it's not a great game, I'll argue. You can select 2 different types of characters, right? You could do an online campaign that lets you hook up other players, or an offline campaign if you want to play by yourself. And I noticed the online campaign, even though I'm playing solo, I noticed there's some lag playing on it. If I'm paying attention, there's some lag. Like I'll attack, and enemies will react like a little half a second after the attack hits. Sometimes. So that's something that can be pretty obnoxious. I don't notice that at all when I play offline. The problem is that those modes are tied to that character, so I can't just like take that same character offline. Like it's either an online character or an offline character. There's no like switching back and forth for that character. But it's not bad. I mean, it's a pretty decent game. It's not gonna do it doesn't do anything new, especially with Diablo 4 coming out. Like I doubt this is gonna like set the world on fire right now. But for $10, it's not bad. It's not bad. I'm still playing it.
They're still working on this, though, right? That's the thing.
It's done.
It's done.
I mean, it's a full release. Yeah, it's 1 point something. I think is the release for this. They might release some stuff later. I don't know, but it's not in early access anymore.
They just came out with like that controller support. That's why I looked at it the last time.
Right. So they might still update it, but I want to preface this is no longer in early access. So.
Okay.
You know, don't pick this game up thinking like, oh, they'll add more to it, because the game's, for a lack of a better term, for, you know, word of the law, the game is done. You know, that's its full release right now. If they want to add more stuff to it later, update it later, that's on them. And that's cool to do, but the game is technically finished. So, you know, enter at your own peril here. If that's something that you're cool with, you know, if you like this, the condition the game's in right now, then go ahead, check it out. But again, the game is done, so
yeah, because that was the other thing with like Last Epoch. When I checked that out, they had put out a significant update, and I was like, oh, maybe it's where it needs to be, but no, still, it's not. That's why I keep going back to Path of Exile, because it's like very polished now, you know. So like I feel like these games need time to mature almost.
I might check out Path of Exile again, because I liked what I played with you, but I literally haven't played it since the last time we played together.
It's incredible.
But it was dope. Yeah, it was dope. I was having fun with it. I was already seeing the potential. I was like, fuck, the skill tree is like huge. The way the way the game let me like allocate my skills and abilities, because you allocate abilities to like your weapon, right? If I remember correctly. So like,
no, you allocate abilities to your everything. Everything has slots, and then you put abilities in those slots, and then those slots can be linked, and they're different colors. So
yeah, it's like this weird like thing that's like, it really breeds like self-expression, which is what I like about it. Like, it lets you like build out how you want to build out.
Yeah.
And I like games that let you do that and don't punish you for like spreading yourself too thin. Because my problem with a lot of games, like Grim Dawn included, which is an incredible game, Grim Dawn lets you multi-class. It's a bit more limited though, because you have 2 classes to pick from, right? And on top of that, you have the fucking constellation system, which is like a whole other thing. But I don't want to talk about that. The problem is though that a lot of skills don't like jive very well. So like, for example, I want to play like a spell slinging like warrior character, you know, someone who like uses swords and shields or something, and casts spells on top of that, you know. But the problem is, if you do that, then you're not going to have the resources to cast spells effectively, and you're better off just picking one or the other, or picking another class that like jives with what you're doing. And this game doesn't have that problem, because it's just attack. You know, you can put points into spell damage on your skill tree, but you're not like losing anything by like spreading yourself around with those 2 classes. Yeah. So that build is more viable in this game than it would have been like Grim Dawn or something. Yeah. So that's what I like about this, is that it lets you do that. I don't know how much depth it's going to have like in the actual end game, because that's when these games matter, right? Is the end game, when it starts pushing you up against like actual difficult enemies and actual challenges. That's when like you really get to see like how good the game is.
I typically never make it that far in these games. So, even Path of Exile, because every time a season starts, you gotta like start a new character. So
Yeah.
but now I've been working on the same character. I've not reset. I'm on the old content still, just playing whenever I can. And out. So yeah, maybe I'll load this up again because I have this game. It's just it ran like shit, so I didn't play it. I was like 3.5 minutes in. I was like, this is not running good. So
It runs fine for me. Oh, excuse me, it runs fine for me. So like,
I set everything
I haven't had
to
any.
like ultra low, and it just was not. It was not doing it.
Yeah, it's running fine for me, and like my graphical stuff is set to like high right now.
I have to check it again. Maybe they fixed it. Um,
Yeah, I've also been playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which is still like incredible. Um, I have a problem though, because like I like to for games I really like, I have this problem of like doing all the side content before I finish it, and Xenoblade Create 3 has a lot of side content. It's a lot of content.
yeah.
So going through that, I'm like at the last couple of chapters of the game, but I'm scared to finish it because of how much I like the game. Even though there's a new game plus and there's like DLCs that I could buy, I'm like scared to finish it. So I'm just doing all the side content right now. I'm like 120 something hours into it. And I'm still having fun. I play a couple hours maybe an hour or two every other night or something while the baby's sleeping. Just knock out some side quests, level up my characters a bit more. I told you, right? The game has like multi-classing, so
Yeah.
it's not like a job system like the Bravely games. So you can pick a class for each character, and then each of those classes have some abilities that carry over. So you could choose abilities from other classes to kind of maximize your to synergize better with the class you're playing. There's a lot of cool shit here. There's a class that's fucking incredible because like all of its abilities and skills are you unlock them. So it starts out with the least amount of abilities and skills to choose from, and it's the only class that can't like take abilities from other classes. But the gimmick for this one is that you unlock more abilities and skills and arts by defeating unique monsters. So those boss monsters, the named monsters you find in the overworld, if you kill them, you can unlock skills and arts based on those monsters. So it's got like the most arts and skills available. You can build out that if you get a character with that class, you can build it out to be like a dodge tank, a block tank, a DPS with low aggro, or an aggressive healer. You can do whatever you want with it if you get the right skills and arts to back it up. And that's gonna take me like the longest to do because of how much stuff there is to find with it. I don't know if I'm gonna do that in this playthrough, but the game does a good job of like, okay, here's the tools available, build what you want with it. Like it's really good at doing that.
I always like that.
And
I think my favorite game that did that was Final Fantasy 12, where it had like the grid and you can kind of just distribute whatever you wanted.
So this is similar to that, but it's a job system. So there's not like a grid you're allocating points to. It's a job that you select. That's why I like to compare it to Bravely Default or Bravely Second, because you pick a job. The job levels up independently from your character's level. And when you max out that level, you can carry over some of those abilities and skills, passives that job has to another job that you select. And you can kind of mix and match that. So there's like, oh God, I don't want to get too deep into it because it's pretty complex to explain it. But there's arts, right? Your active abilities, stuff like backslash, side break. You know, if you played Xenoblade before, you know what I'm talking about. Those are the abilities you're actually like. Those are what's filling up. That you're actively using.
Side break.
Now, sure. Point is that the game also has what's called fusion arts. So your main arts are assigned to the face buttons. Okay, so let's look at an Xbox controller. Y, X, A. Those are your main arts. Those fill up on a bar as you auto attack, and you can use those arts like heal, attack, or pull aggro, drop aggro, change your stance, stuff like that. Those are your active skills. You got 3 of them. Now on the D-pad, up, right, and down, you have your fusion arts. Those are arts you pull from other classes. So, for example, let's say you have like an attacking class. to your face buttons, you might have the attacks for that class. A side attack that does more damage from the side, a backslash does more damage from behind, and maybe an attack that like does more damage if you cancel into it. On your D-pad, you have those fusion arts you can assign to, and you pull from other classes. So let's say you have one that like lowers your aggro, one that does more damage if you're attacking an enemy from up front again, so you have an extra attack to play with, and another one that like drops a healing ring around you, let's say. Now, those are acted independently, so you could use those. So you have 6 abilities to choose from. But if both abilities are the cooldown on them is completely finished, you can do what's called a fusion art, where you can do them at the same time. So let's say that up on the D-pad and Y button, if those are both filled, you can do them at the same time. You'll do your Y attack, which will get the effects of the up on the D button fusion art too. So there's incentive there to like let those fill up, because then you're firing off and more attacks or more abilities more quickly. It's kind of hard to explain, but there's a benefit to doing that because it fills up other bars more quickly. This game loves its fucking bars, dude. There's a bar for like everything. But it's fucking addicting when you fire it off, because it's like, oh, fusion art mastered, a bonus to Ouroboros bar, and I'm like, ooh, that feels good. That's like dopamine right into my fucking brain, dude. It's really, really addicting. And going through the characters and picking the arts that jive with each other, it's it's fucking addicting, dude. It's so good.
I started this game. I did end up starting this and just doing like the intro. Yeah, I did the intro until you get like until it just lets you wander around the open area. And I just saved it and then quit.
So that's another thing that, and there's something Monolith. There's a problem with Monolith, dude. Like they take forever to get to the fucking point.
Yeah,
and you spend like hours unlocking stuff. I'll play a couple more hours when you unlock the multi-classing. Oof, the game changes, dude. It's a totally different game. It's a totally different game, and that's what makes the game like incredible, man. It's so good. I'm still playing it. I'm playing this so much. I want to get into, because I own all the Xenoblade games except for X, but I'm looking online right now, and that game's fucking expensive for some goddamn reason. So I'm probably never gonna play it.
Don't worry, it's garbage anyway. It's trash.
Do you still have it?
On the PU? Yeah. Well, I got it digital.
Fuck. I would have bought it off of you if you like had it physical. Because I'm looking online, dude. It's still like $70, $80 for like a used copy. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
That's garbage,
like,
dude.
It looks good. Like it looks good. I was reading some reviews on it. People were saying it's not as bad as everyone made it seem to be.
It's not bad. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you were telling me, but I don't care. I want to try it, but I fucking can't, because like the Wii U sold like shit, so that game sold like shit. So if I want to play it now in the year of our Lord 2023, I gotta shell out like $80 for a fucking used copy.
Emulator.
I might just do that, honestly.
Works very
also,
well.
It's also the only Xenoblade game that runs at 60 FPS. So like,
really?
I want to try it just for that novelty alone. Yeah. So I want to try it for that novelty alone. But yeah, if anyone has a copy of Xenoblade Chronicles X that they want to get rid of, like, I'll buy it off of you. Like, give me a fair price for it, and I'll buy it off of you. I'm putting that out there right now. I guess I can get it digital before the Wii U store closes, but it's still like $60. I don't want to drop 60 bones on that. Like, it's like, how old is that game now? Like 6, 7 years old?
That's crazy if it's still 60. Like,
well, it's on the digital store. That's why. Like,
yeah, but I mean, how do they get away with that?
I don't know, man. They're Nintendo.
You want to talk about The Last of Us real quick?
Yeah. So, what's your opinion on that last episode? Because you were like that. You said that like did a total 180 on the show for you. Like, I want to hear your opinion first. I'll go into my opinion after.
The main 2 issues. I have 2 issues with the way this show played out, because it started very nice. It started very well, very exciting. I was like, oh yeah, this is great. But then I don't know. It turned when I found out that there was only 9 episodes. I was like, oh, you guys are you guys are tripping. It just felt rushed, man. It felt like it was super rushed.
Yeah,
The
I had the same
thing,
opinion.
the thing I like about when you do a TV show is that you don't have to adhere to this strict runtime of like something like a movie, where it's like you get maybe like 3 hours max in a movie to like tell your story. In a TV show, you get as long as you want. So I don't understand why they felt the need to cram the entirety of that first game into It was 9 episodes, right?
Yeah, and here's my complaint with it. I think we had the same opinion here. It does a good job hitting those story beats in the sense that like they happen, and a lot of them happen how you expect it to happen in the game. The changes they make are some changes for the better. But I will argue the thing that like suffers the most actually is, and this is ironic because you got more time with the show to do this, is the relationship between Joel and Ellie.
Yeah.
Because in the game, like you have that downtime between those set pieces, right? Where you're actually playing the game. You see them joking around with each other. You see them warming up to each other. You don't get that here. You don't have that time between episodes to see them develop. And it's almost like, they go from like being okay with each other to like Joel looking at her like a daughter literally in like one episode. And people argue like, well, if you paid attention, like that happened on the camp thing when Joel realized how much he meant to Ellie. Yeah, but he's still ready to ditch her though. And the next episode, spoilers, he gets stabbed, and you see the whole Left Behind stuff for Ellie. With that that religious cult that's eating people. And then he goes to calling her baby girl, like after he saves her. Like, so it feels like that traumatic experience is what he took to consider her like a daughter surrogate. And the next episode, he's like all over her. Actually, you should play guitar. You like that? Tell me some jokes, Ellie. Like, it's almost a whiplash to see it happen. And she's still upset because like she went through some shit, so she's like not ready to open up or start talking quite yet. And then when you get to that last episode, he's already ready to like just kill people for her. Kill people that were supposed to be his friends and partners. And it seems weird, like almost unbelievable that he would stoop to that level because of how fast their relationship development had to.
But
not
only that in the show, it was a lot more ambiguous as to. There was like no question whether the surgery would work or not. There was like no question. It was just. I guess they were just the audience is supposed to take that. Oh, it's 100%. Like, yeah, we kill Ellie, and we get a cure.
Yeah.
But they made no mention of like the past failures and shit like that. I don't know. It was like, and then the whole scene where they like added fucking her mom. I was like,
so here's my beef with that. Like, I thought it was fucking cool at first, until I realized Marlene was there to see her born. And she's playing this card like, I was there to watch her. I was there when she was born. I made a promise to her mom to keep her safe. Why the fuck you dump her with Fedra then? Because that's where she was. Like, she was with Fedra until like you realized she was immune, and then you cared about her. Like, it makes you seem shittier. Like, it almost makes you look like a worse person because you noticed that she was born.
It's like the way they made the show. You might as well. It's like they just took a supercut. It's like you go on YouTube and you watch a cutscenes only version of like the full gameplay.
Yeah.
And it's like they basically did that. I'm like, this is not. You're missing the shit that's like in between this that makes everything matter. So it's I was like, it was. I don't know. I thought it was fucking shitty that I just had no connection to the main characters. Whereas like Bill and Frank, I was like, oh, I have so much more connection in these guys in one episode than I did the entire season for like Ellie and Joel.
I agree. And it's a huge bummer because like ironically it comes from the fact there wasn't enough time to like show off their relationship. I mean, sure, you see them like struggle, you see them like sort of care about each other, but the change is more drastic and less gradual than is in the game. And a part of it does become the fact the game is a game. So you see that stuff in the gameplay. Literally, like when you give Ellie a gun, you see her like helping you out. And now, if you notice throughout the game, she gets more and more useful. She's taking out more and more guys more efficiently as you play through the game. So you're starting to develop this relationship with her, not just as the character, but also as the player. And I feel like the show didn't have a chance to show off that gradual shift where you get to see their relationship with each other. It hits all the story beats just fine, and I think a lot of stuff it changes for the better. But it fumbles the relationship between the two of them because it has to adhere to like the time frame they set for themselves. I think if it was one episode longer, maybe,
No, what I expected. Well, here's what I expected was each season in the game should have been a season of the show. Basically, is what I expected.
Yeah,
and then they could kind of make shit up, but just spend a bit more time in each season instead of doing this 3 months later, 4 months later. Like this flash forward shit is like it's so cheap. It's so cheap. It's just a bad way to tell a story. These flash
I agree.
Like,
I agree. I think like they did a decent job showing off the relationship. I'm sure if you never played the game, you probably wouldn't have an issue with it. But seeing like how fast that relationship like developed, like,
well, I've friends who play. So the other problem is that where the fucking infected at, man? There were like 3 infected in the whole fucking shit series. Like 3 infected, and so I had friends who like didn't play the game, they were just watching the show, and they don't even realize that it's still a threat out there because fucking these guys walked across the entire country and ran into like 3 infected. So that shit was ridiculous to me. I was like, are you kidding? There's like not even like the final battle. There's like not even a final battle of some infected here.
Yeah, dude. Even the last episode before that with the cult, like in the game, like she fights off like a bunch of infected with them.
Yeah. She like teams up with each other, and that's how like they gain her trust. Is they fight with each other.
And then they realize like, and then they realize like, oh, you and your dad like killed our guys, and that's when shit pops off because you actually start to believe that, hey, maybe like they can join this community and they could have some like friends now to help them out. Like you start to believe it with them because you fought alongside them, and it's like, oh no, we're assholes too. Like, and that wasn't there, and I felt like it was weaker for that. It's such there's a lot of missed opportunity here, and there's a lot of things I like that they changed, like the stuff with Bill and Frank, fucking incredible. It was incredible.
It was great.
And some people shit on it. They're like, oh, it's just filler. Like, yeah, if you're a fucking idiot, maybe it's filler, but it's also theming, you stupid fuck. Because it tries to show you that.
In hindsight, like, once you get to the end, you're like, now I'm upset that they dedicated a whole episode to that. And we didn't get a good payoff. I feel like it was a waste of episode in hindsight. Like, as it was happening, I was like, this is great.
Yeah. In hindsight, but if we had like the other episodes we wanted to build a relationship with Joel and Ellie, that episode reinforces the fact that like you need love in this world. Like you need to love somebody or someone love you or something to care about instead of just surviving. And that episode like reinforces that theme, which is the whole fucking theme of the show. That we do crazy things for love, and we are as social creatures, we need like that connection with people. That episode reinforces that. And if the rest of the show had been, as incredible as that episode and build up on that theme a little bit more, and you got to see that relationship with Joel and Ellie, I feel like everybody got to show off their relationship to each other except for Joel and Ellie. Like, because then you have the next episode with what's his name and his brother, like Henry. And that's like that's a mirror to like Joel and Ellie's relationship. And that's another example of like, what these connections can do for you. But at the same time, he's being hunted down by that new character, the leader of that resistance, whose brother he killed, who puts like all of her like people in danger to settle the score because he killed someone she loved. So there's this theme of like love and connection, relationships, and how good they can be, but also how they can cloud your judgment, which would have been great to see that develop more, especially with that last episode. But because the relationship with Joel and Ellie seems rushed, and in hindsight, you're right, a lot of that stuff feels like filler, and it's a huge bummer. It just could have been like perfect. I think if they had like maybe 2 more episodes, I wouldn't be as salty about it. I would have loved your idea to have like each season of the show be a season of the from an actual like in-game season from the game, but you know, if they couldn't do that, at least like maybe 2 more episodes, I think, could have fleshed out that relationship a bit more with the 2 of them. But
yeah, I figured that they would milk this for everything it's worth. I mean, if you did like several seasons for the first game, it would be a way more profitable, or at least it would get people's attention a lot quicker. If you just one season and that's the entire first that means there's only going to be like 1 season for the second part.
yeah, I agree, and that's something that kind of bums me out. And I did like what I was watching so far, because I legit thought like, oh, we're gonna have like maybe 2 more episodes with Joel and Ellie, and then like the finale. But no, it was like the next episode after that.
What I expected is, okay, so because the shit happens in between. The shit happens in between like the first game and the second game, where it's like Joel teaching Ellie, or like, you know, like the museum and shit, or like shit like that. What I was expecting was them to just fill that stuff in as it just do one The Last of Us show, and then season by season they'll just fill stuff in as it progressed. So you would get that story. They wouldn't necessarily be like, here's part 1, here's part 2. It'd be like, hey, here's the part where we go to the museum. Here's the part where we teach her how to swim. She didn't swim not 1 second in that fucking entirety of that season. Did she swim at all? I was like, she's supposed to.
The part where the hotel was like flooded.
Yeah.
And she was like, I can't swim, and like that's it. It never becomes like a thing. He never has to like pull like a makeshift like raft for her to carry her across the. You know, I would have loved to see more of that, because you get to see
her not
like
knowing how to
again,
swim is a huge point of the thing, and him teaching her is like, I don't like. How do you miss this?
Yeah, like there's a lot that they could have done differently, and again, a lot of what they do is really good. I like some of the changes they made. I like that what's his name, Henry's brother was like deaf, because then like, oh, there's like more on top of being like a small child, he also has a disability he has to take care of. And again, I love like Bill and Frank's relationship. I liked it more than what Ellie and Joel were doing. And it's a huge bummer to see like the main focus of what should have been the main focus of the show kind of get sidelined a little bit. And a lot of people are going to complain like, oh, it's because they had an agenda. They're blah, 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 because they showed that they dedicated a whole episode to this LGBT couple. Well, no, it's because like they don't know how to fucking manage their time. Like that episode would have been great if they had like another episode or 2 more episodes in that season. But 9 episodes for the season? Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I don't know who signed off on that or whose idea that was, but they fucked up. They fucked up. So
yeah, it's a huge bummer. Like,
that was my main issue with it. I was like, that's it? You're just gonna do like, you're gonna do a Cliff Notes version of this whole thing and then expect me to have any feeling for these characters? So in that finale, when the final scene hit, I had no feeling at all. I was just like, okay, I guess that's it. Like I had no feeling at all. So
yeah, I was just kind of like whatever with it too, and it's such a bummer because like, and I know people can complain it's because like they took attention away from them. Well, not just that, but like this would have been this still would have been a problem with the episode count that they had. They needed like more time between those episodes to like really show them off. I think if every episode was at least an hour long, maybe, and they had 10 episodes instead of 9, I think it would have been perfect. But I don't know. We'll never know now. We'll never know now. Oh, such wasted potential, dude. Such wasted potential.
yeah.
Yeah, this could have been incredible. Oh well. But yeah, that's it. We're not a Last of Us podcast. You know, we're never gonna be. we just had to talk about it because we both had like huge opinions in the last episode and the season as a whole. Um, excuse me. Let's get into the news now, man. PlayStation Plus updated their games catalog lineup for March. So available Tuesday, March 21st for PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium. We're getting a bunch of great games. Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection, which again should have been there day one, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's going to be available. Chia, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Extraction, Ghostwire Tokyo, Life is Strange True Colors, Immortals Phoenix Rising, Life is Strange 2, DBZ Kakarot, which is cool to see. Street Fighter V Champion Edition, which again should have been there day one, considering like Sony kind of foot the bill to make that game happen, but whatever. Untitled Goose Game, Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, another like PlayStation exclusive that should have been there day one. Rage 2.
Great.
Type 0, yeah.
It's fantastic. It's
I gotta
the
play
only, like, M-rated. Well, I guess it was the only M-rated. I think 7 is M now, but...
FF7 is T, isn't it? Hold on.
Might still be the only M-rated Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, the new one's supposed to be M-rated, but... Yeah, 15 is going to be M-rated, apparently. But yeah, Type 0 is the only... It was, at least till 15 comes out, the only M-rated Final Fantasy game. And I've heard good things about it, actually. I heard like the M rating does a lot for the setting.
Yeah.
So that might be worth checking out. But honestly, you could probably buy that game for like, what, $10 now? But whatever. Yeah, Rage 2, Neo, The World Ends With You, and Haven. And for PlayStation Classics, you got Ridge Racer Type 4 for PS1, Ape Academy 2 for PSP, and Siphon Filter Dark Mirror from PSP.
Ridge Racer.
I fucking knew you were going to do that. How did I know you're going to do that? But yeah, so there you go. There's some games to check out if you have that subscription, but honestly, it's still not enough to like make it worth it for me. They're doing good. They're getting a foot in the right direction, but a lot of this stuff should have been there from the beginning. What else? Oh, we also got some quickie news. The System Shock remake is releasing on PC May 30th of this year. Damn it, dude. I forgot this was happening, if I'm being honest with you.
Great, dude. There's a demo up now. You can play the demo, and great. It's great. I've never played the original, so I'm looking forward to going into this with a fresh mind, with fresh eyes.
I never played the original either, but this looks pretty cool.
There are great things about this.
Yeah, same. They were working on this for a while, right? Like this was...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
There was like a huge pause on it for like almost half a decade, I think. They just paused development on it because they had other shit we're working on.
The original immersive sim. It's like this and like Deus Ex are like
the
originals.
I tried playing this because I own it, and it's a very, very old game. It's a very old game. So kind of hard to get into.
Yeah. Or they did a remaster or some shit. They did like a re-release that had like a small little facelift, but this one's like a complete
overhaul. Yeah, so I might check that out. You know, it looks good, like what they complain about, so I might check it out, but we'll see how I feel. What else we got? There's some trailers and videos. Hyper Light Breaker got its first official gameplay trailer.
Yes, dude.
And it's supposed to go to early access 2023. This looks pretty dope, dude. This looks dope, dude.
Like this is it, dude. Like when this comes out, you're probably never gonna see me again. So if like the original Hyper Light Breaker or Hyper Light Drifter was like a Zelda, maybe like a Link to the Past mixed with a little Souls, this is like Breath of the Wild Souls, man. With
it's
co-op.
Like I would argue it's Breath of the Wild Nier Automata. That's what I would argue.
Nier Automata. Okay, yeah. But
with
like
co-op.
It's difficult though. That's the thing. Like it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna have the difficulty you want. Yeah. So that's what. Yeah. God, this
I
looks
might
good.
check it out then because the combat is what I'm like excited for because it's got a very like it's got like that platinum style combat. And when I say that, you know what I'm talking about. Um,
Yeah.
you know what this looks like? This looks like what Biomutant like should have been.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah,
this looks like fun. Yeah, I want to play this. This looks really fucking good.
as soon
I
as I
never beat
saw
the
this,
first Hyperlight Drifter, and that sucks. Like I own it.
neither have I. I've never beaten it because it's difficult. But this looks. I don't know. I don't know how they're pulling this off, man. But they're doing it.
But
It
that
looks
Hyperlight
incredible.
Drifter money, like they've sure they got the money to like get this together.
I guess so.
Well, this looks good. I'm gonna pick this up. It's gonna go early access sometime this year, so
Ball.
I will have a very close eye on this game. Redfall, you got its official story trailer. That's the drop May 2nd. This is a game I'm excited for too.
Yeah, the more
After the
recent showings of this, I've come around on it. So I was kind of down on it before because it was like, what? Why do we even need this? But now that they've shown more and more of this, I'm like, okay, this looks pretty fucking dope.
yeah, and I want to check this out. It's gonna be on Game Pass, so there's no reason not to try it. At least.
Yeah.
Damn it! I got like something in my throat I can't get out. I know this looks really good. I can't wait to try this. The story trailer just set up like more of the story here, some of the mysteries of Redfall you can uncover. But yeah, this looks cool, dude. I really want to pick this up. We also got to look at Dr. Fetus's Mean Meat Machine. Fucking fantastic name. I love this name. It's really funny. It's an obvious parody of Dr. Eggman's Mean Bean Machine. Those of you who don't know, this is a Match 4 puzzle game from the Super Meat Boy guys. Actually, I don't know if Edmund McMullen is like working on this, but it's in that same universe.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is that having that universe, you got the Super Meat Boy twist. So the puzzle blocks are like physical characters you got to bring down to like match them up. But there's like obstacles like buzzsaws and what look like enemy NPCs like they're to fuck with you as you're dropping these puzzle blocks. So this could be a really interesting like little like twist on that genre. I don't know. I no one's thought of this before because this seems like so obvious to do, and
Yeah.
I'll probably pick this up, dude. It looks dope.
Like watching the gameplay, it's hard to even tell what, like how this plays. It's almost like that Shovel Knight puzzle game, where it's like you look at it and you're like, I can't even tell what the puzzle game is here, but it looks dope. Very creative.
Yeah, I like what I'm looking at here, and I want to check this out. Honestly, anything that like the Team Meat guys put out, I'm like, let's see it, dude. I'm down. We also got Amnesia: The Bunker. Do we care about this? Because
Um,
I mean, I get how important Amnesia is, but it hasn't really been relevant since like the first game, right?
I guess people seem excited about it, but this is just like a little teaser, so they're not saying much here.
A lot of people were like disappointed with their last game, right? Machine for Pigs. Wasn't that like a huge letdown?
Oh, was it? I mean, I guess it was, but they do.
I
Like,
never played it because I'm not a fan of those hide and seek style like horror games. That's not my cup of tea.
yeah, it's when you do have weapons and shit. So
Yeah. Oh, this one has weapons? Okay, I might check it out then.
weapons.
I say that people are like, "Oh, what's wrong? You don't have the attention span to like blah 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 blah." And I'm like, "No, it's because like hiding like sucks. Like, are we surprised here? Like, it's not fun to do. And like, I'm sorry if you want to pretend that like you're a intellectual because you find excitement in hiding from threats." Which, by the way, is the same recycled animation every time you hide. There's like a crapshoot where they might find you or not. Like, yeah, if you find that fun, and then when you die, you just start back in the room where you died in. So you can do it all over again. Like, yeah, if you find fun in that, good for you. But that's not my thing. Where was I going with this? Right. You can play a good horror game like Resident Evil 2 remake, and then we'll talk. But yeah, there's actual gunplay in this. There's another aspect of the survival you have to worry about, like resource management, like proper resource management, not just like finding keys for doors. Then yeah, I might be able to have some fun with this, but we'll see. In a game, in a move nobody thought was coming out, like Toxic Crusaders is getting a game.
Yeah. I mean, they must have seen that Shredder's Revenge and was like, "Yo, you got this."
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. Toxic Crusaders is never like a big IP, like.
Yeah.
So it's based on the Toxic Avengers movies, which are like really campy, hard R-rated like schlock movies. And then the excitement from that turned into like an animated series that lasted like a season.
Yeah.
But I don't think there was ever like any real excitement for it. I think Angry Video Game Nerd like reviewed some of the games that came out, but they're not like well-known games. Like Toxic Crusaders aren't exactly like a well-known franchise. It's not the same thing as like TMNT or like. I'd be less surprised if a Street Sharks game got announced. Like that's how underground. Yeah, that's how underground Toxic Crusaders is. So I see this happening. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. They should have gone the opposite direction, made a Toxic Avengers or Toxic Avenger game, and just made it like a hard M-rated, bloody, disgusting like beat 'em up. I think that would have been cool. But I mean, whatever. We'll see when this comes out. It could be good. Like it doesn't look bad. Looks like fun.
We should get a new like third person beat 'em up. Remember those shits? Remember like Fighting Force? God Hand.
Oh.
I was thinking like older, like Fighting Force.
Like Fighting Force, Mortal Kombat, Shaolin Monks, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Where it's like just real, just shitty.
Well, Shaolin Monks was like unironically like really, really good. Like I remember like actually liking that.
I don't know if I played that one.
It's fucking incredible. It's like way better than it has any right to be. I thought it was gonna be dog shit until like a cousin of mine owned it and I played it at his place and I was like, dude, this game is fucking great. Like this is an incredible game. I don't think there are many like 3D beat 'em ups out there, are there? Like
not many. There's not many. That's why I'm like,
oh, the Die Hard arcade game. Ooh, that's a good one.
What?
The Die Hard arcade game? You never. So it came out in Japan as Die Hard arcade, but we got it here in the U.S. as Dynamite Cop. You ever heard of Dynamite Cop?
No.
Ooh, dude, buckle up. Hold on, check this out. I played this shit on the Dreamcast. This game was fucking incredible. At least to me, it was. Like I haven't played it since I was like maybe 11, 12. Check this out. Put in the stream chat here. See, Clay gets it. Die Hard Arcade was awesome. So here's Dynamite Cop, dude. Check it out.
I've never seen this.
Really?
And I love the Dreamcast.
I think it's one of the better like Dreamcast games. Also, Zombie Revenge is another one that's like also a Dreamcast like beat 'em up that's like really fucking good that nobody talks about anymore.
It almost looks like a mix of Power Stone and like Power Stone Adventure. And Sega, dude. That's why like I used to like Sega needs to make a comeback in terms of like these arcade style. Cause no one makes games like Sega, man. Sega like nailed that arcade shit on console. Like that's what
dude, I agree.
The beauty of the Dreamcast.
Check out this one here. This is Zombie Revenge, also a Dreamcast exclusive. It's actually like in the same universe as House of the Dead. Have you heard of this one, Zombie Revenge?
No.
Oh, this is one I played a lot when I was a kid, dude. Look at this one.
Zombie Revenge.
Yeah, the actual gameplay starts about like 6 minutes in. It's like cutscenes in the beginning.
Yeah, see, like, bring this back, dude. This is like dumb and stupid. And oh, you know what? I think there was one that came out. Wasn't it called Die Hard? Wasn't there a third person like shitty game that came out recently?
Recently, I don't know.
Recently, people were shitting on it, but I don't think they realized that it's like was intentionally shitty like this.
I don't know what you're talking about now. If you remember it, let me know, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I forgot, but
But yeah, I would love to see some more of that shit. Like, again, I haven't played these two games in like decades, but they might be. That's like a prime like gameplay or a prime like game genre that with modern sensibilities could like make a pretty decent comeback, I think.
yeah, it was just like stupid fun, you know. It wasn't like anything taken seriously.
Yeah, I want some more of that, some stupid fun games. Yeah, Toxic Crusaders. That's coming 2023. Um, man, I went down a rabbit hole with this. I'm like reminiscing about some old games that would be great to see again. But oh, I got the hiccups. Fuck. I know we got some news to talk about. We can get distracted. Uh, and it's something nobody like thought would exist. Persona 5: The Phantom X. We got a gameplay trailer for it. Apparently, it's a Chinese free-to-play gacha style game? Question mark.
Yeah. So the guy that posted this on their channel put no information. So I kind of had to go digging a little bit, and what I found was that this is a free-to-play Chinese game, set in the Persona 5 universe, and it's like a gacha game. I don't know what platforms. I'm guessing mobile.
Yeah,
Like
I would assume mobile.
it looks okay. You know what I'm saying? It looks like half official and then half like fan made. If you told me it was like a mod for Persona 5, I'd be like, yeah, I could see that.
That's what I
But
thought this was. It was a mod, but
yeah,
no, it's an official game, and it's what's weird about it is being like a Chinese game. Is this gonna be released in the States like at all? Or is this just for the Chinese market? Does it have anything to do with like the first Persona 5? Like,
the word on the street is that this is China exclusive. So
yeah, because a lot of this is like, how can I word it? There's not enough here to like warrant playing through it because it looks a lot like it's rehashing a lot of the stuff from Persona 5. Even the character design like looks just like Joker from P5. Like there's no reason to just like make everything reminiscent of that. You could have just done your own thing with it. So that tells me like this is exclusively for a market that maybe like didn't get or didn't appreciate Persona 5 as it was.
yeah,
Which I think
well,
China is like super weird about like Japanese games, right? Like it's not a big thing over there. Like they're really weird about like what Japanese games make it over there to their
well,
market.
just games in general. I don't think they, I don't think they really allow like thing when they allowed like consoles even. They don't have games over there, man. That's why they do all this mobile shit. So I I don't know. I don't know what this is. There's no information on this. I don't even know where this came from. Some guy just posted it on their channel with no info. Just like, hey, here's the trailer. I was like, for what? What is this?
Yeah, I had to dig a little bit to find out. Yeah, that this is a thing, and like Atlas is like supervising the development of this game. Um, I'm looking at like releases for this. I don't think the Persona 5 actually officially released in China. So that's probably why this like
Yeah,
this is
nothing comes
so
out of China.
reminiscent.
There's
That's why,
no
yeah, that's probably why this is so reminiscent of it. This is supposed to be like it's supposed to be like, oh, this is the Persona 5 that we can make for you, basically.
yeah. Like I think they
which is
only
probably why it's
allow like mobile games in China. I don't think they allow like I don't think they're allowed to have consoles.
yeah. I don't
I think
know.
it's just like
They have like
PC and
PCs
mobile.
too, but
Yeah, they have
yeah,
PCs, but they don't have consoles. I don't think so.
yeah. I don't know, but
But then their PC, they can only get shit. Like I don't know how it works over there. But
yeah, me neither. But yeah, that's what weird to me out because I was like, oh, it's like a companion piece to it, like a sequel. But no, it's very reminiscent of it. So it makes me think like, oh, this is like a replacement for Persona 5. This is like what you play if you never got Persona 5 in your area. And I think that's what it's supposed to be. That's probably why it's never going to release here because it's kind of redundant, right? To play this if you already play P5 or have access to it.
I
That's my
guess. I
theory
mean,
at
it looks
least.
different. It looks different, and not like you're walking through the cities. I don't know if you can do that in Persona 5.
You can.
There's some parts that you could, but this looks a little more open.
The whole like city is like open to you. It's broken off in like sections, but you can physically walk around like Shibuya, the subway, and Ikebukuro, I think.
This scene
Yeah.
specifically, I don't remember seeing this scene. I haven't finished Persona 5 either, but I don't know. Crackers and
Yeah.
coffee.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. This is I don't care for it really. Like, it's cool that if you never got it, if this is your chance to play Persona 5, then go ahead. But yeah, even if it came over here, I don't think I would play it, honestly. Um, and some announcements we got Remnant from the Ashes dropping on Switch March 21st. I had no idea that was happening. Remnant's a good game, so
Yeah,
is it going to be a good Switch game, though? That's the thing. I don't think it is, but
yeah, I'm sure they'll make it work somehow.
yeah, hopefully.
Is
We also got Chia. Is that how you pronounce it? Chia releasing on PC, PS4, and PS5 on March 21st, this Tuesday. Oh, that's that open world like survival adventure game that we saw forever ago, right? Yeah.
it's the one that's launching on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been showing this off a lot. They're very excited about it. Looks cute, cool. Looks cute.
Yeah, I remember this one. You could like control animals or turn into animals or something. Yeah.
Uh, that's this. I don't think that's this. I don't think that's this. Oh no, it is this.
No,
Okay,
yeah, it is this. Yeah.
okay.
Oh, I like
Cool.
the way she like jumped into that parrot. That could like, there's some cool opportunities with that. Is she taking out like a base like Far Cry? What is this? That is exactly what she's doing. She's taking out like an outpost, like this is Far Cry or something. Okay, this
Cheetah.
looks dope. This looks dope. Okay. Okay, this looks pretty dope. I'm gonna have the wish list. March 22nd, Wednesday, we also have Have a Nice Death releasing on PC and Switch. It's that 2D roguelike, right? Yeah. This looks really good too. This looks really good. I remember this one. This one looked fun as hell.
Yeah, I thought this was a Metroid style game, but
Yeah, no, it's an action game, which is cool. Like the action looks good. And we have Omen of Sorrow. What is this? Brings monsters of horror, literature, mythology together in a fighting game. Oh, it's a fighting game with like a bunch of like monsters and myths. Wasn't that already a thing? Didn't that already exist?
a monster fighting game. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I think it
Terradrome,
was
right?
like, wait, what? Well, I thought the
Yeah,
one that
Terradrome.
existed was like a fan made like unofficial thing.
Yeah, yeah, it was a fan made game with like those
Had like Jason in
old
it,
like
and
yeah, and it was a fan style game with compressed like sprites. So it was kind of like the old like Mortal Kombat games, where they're like digitized like sprites of actual character models, and they couldn't release that because it had like you know, Pinhead and Hellraiser and
Yeah.
Pumpkinhead and Jason. But they did release another game called Reign of Legends. That's another very similar game, but they have like stand-ins for those characters, so they're like royalty-free, like boogeyman type characters, encrypteds. Yeah, still in early access. So this looks like it's doing that, but like it almost looks better.
Yeah, this looks pretty good, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. This looks pretty dope, actually. I want to check this out. Like, there's not enough werewolf characters in fighting games. Werewolves are cool. I want to see more werewolves in games.
True. Darkstalkers.
This
Clay
looks really
mentioned
good.
Darkstalkers.
Darkstalkers and Killer Instinct are the only two fighting games I know that have like a werewolf character.
Yeah.
And even then, I don't think he's like a werewolf in Killer Instinct. I think he's just like some genetically modified like man-wolf thing. Not a proper werewolf. But no, this looks cool. Like, okay, I mean, that's the wish list. Oh, there's a demo for it. Okay. I might be worth checking out, man. We also have the same day, Thursday, March 23rd, we have Raccoon releasing on Switch.
Bloody Roar. Super Ultra Pimp says Bloody Roar. Yeah.
There you go. Which, by
That's
the way,
old,
we're yeah, it's old.
A while ago.
Yeah, and I get Darkstalkers is old too, but like Darkstalkers got a re-release recently. Bloody Roar hasn't.
Yeah.
Oof, we live in an age where like some modern gamers have never heard of Bloody Roar, and that makes me sad.
What? Who made Bloody Roar? Are they even still around? Is that a
I'm looking up right
Capcom
now.
joint?
Is developed by 8ing.
8ing. What?
Yeah, I don't know. There's some subsidiary of Konami, I think. Yeah, they're like a subsidiary of like Hudson Soft and Konami.
Konami, then. We have to bring that back. And Konami being Konami, I mean, they're just not. We're never gonna see that again. So.
Well, Hudson Soft developed the first one. I think I was just like.
Well, they own Hudson now, though.
Oh, they did the PlayStation version. 8ing did the arcade version.
Oh.
But so who owns Bloody Roar now?
I swear it's Konami because I think they have a they have a pachinko table for a Bloody.
Yep, it is Konami. Yeah, so I guess Hudson Soft had it. They had the rights to it. They weren't just developing the PS1 version. And then when Konami absorbed them, they got the rights to Bloody Roar. So that's never gonna happen now. So yeah, we're never gonna get another Bloody Roar game now. So thanks for that. But yeah, Raccoon on Switch looks cute. Like a little like it's like a story-rich puzzle game. Steam says it's a JRPG, but I'm not seeing any JRPG stuff in here.
It's like an Earthbound, maybe.
Maybe. It could just be some like narrative, like it could just be some like narrative, story-rich like RPG Maker game.
It's overwhelmingly positive on Steam.
Laura
Shigahara. Oh, she did the soundtrack to Plants vs Zombies, I think. And she makes games now. This is one. She's making another one called Mr. Saito. Played in the demo derby.
Oh, she did that music for To the Moon. She did that song. Okay, yeah, I remember her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she makes games now? Okay.
Makes games now.
That's cool.
They're pretty good.
Okay, that's really cool. Alright, so check that out. The release is, what did it say? March 23rd? Yeah, March 23rd. It's already out on Steam, so you can buy it now on Steam if you want. It's been out since like 2017. And we got Song of Memories Complete Scenario. Overall mixed reviews.
This is a
A next
visual novel.
generation. Yep, a next generation romantic adventure game with a story focused on songs and ultimate decision making.
Sexual content. Of course, this will
Oh,
be on Switch.
ooh.
Switch is like the new trash visual novel platform.
I don't
It
know,
used to
man.
be.
Nintendo's starting to pick that up.
Well, I don't know
I was on
how.
the I was on the eShop the other day, man, and there was like some hentai games on there.
Nice. You gotta tell me which
Like
ones.
legit like hentai in the title. And I looked up apparently like they're like uncensored on Switch from what I was seeing on Google, so
Yeah, Switch has the uncensored games now too.
yeah. Which very ironic to see that happening, by the way.
Yeah.
I was on I can't remember the YouTuber. I can't remember that. Oh, Review Tech USA was talking about it. He was like, "This is like reprehensible that you could see these games alongside like Nintendo games. There should be a filter to it. You know, someone's kid could be going through this, and it's like, well, fuck your kid. Like, don't care. Like there's a bunch of M-rated games showing up next to it too. Like Mortal Kombat was like right next to Mario the other day. We shouldn't bitching about that
Yeah.
because you don't care. Because for some reason everyone has this weird like opinion that like sex is like this like ultimate evil that we need to avert our eyes away from. But a violent video game is like no big deal. But whatever. That's like a whole like other tangent. But no, this is like an adventure game with some like horny elements to it. So go check it out if you want. If you're into that kind of thing.
Got
I'll
over
just
40
like,
hours worth of voices.
or I'll just watch porn, honestly. But you do you, man.
Days of Joy have returned. Precious times.
Next game we got is Storyteller. That's releasing March 23rd as well for PC and Switch. What is this? So is this like a puzzle game? Is that what this is?
With Storyteller, you are the one writing the stories. Start with the title, characters, and settings, and create your own twist on stories familiar and new. I think they showed this in one of the like Switch presentations. I know Direct they showed this. They basically give you like little prompts and you're just filling stuff in and you're like telling your own story based on prompts that are given to you. However you decide to fill it in. It's pretty interesting if it works as advertised.
Yeah, this looks pretty cool. Like almost like a I've got scribble knots, but like with pictures
Yeah.
and images. Okay, this could be cool, man. I like this. Yeah, like so context changes depending on like the panel before it. That's really cool. Okay, I like this. I really, really like this. Okay, this is neat. Okay, this is cool. It's a pretty weird gimmick. I don't know how long it could like hold itself together, but honestly, if it's like a small like indie game, like there could be some cool shit in here. Okay, I might check that
It's a
out.
puzzle. It's a puzzle game, so you know, you
Yeah,
solving the puzzles. It's always fresh when it comes to that, I
yeah.
guess.
We have next we have on Friday, March 24th, we have Atelier Ryza 3, Alchemist the End and the Secret Key. The final summer, the final secret. Ryza's final adventure is about to begin. Oh, these are ending now.
Oh no. What are they gonna do?
I don't know what I'm gonna do if like, there's not another Atelier Ryza game out next year. But
Yeah.
no, jokes aside, like again, we drop this every time we have this show and the new game gets announced. If you're a fan of these games, like tell us what the appeal is. Like, what's the appeal of and
One of the tags here is collectathon, which
ugh,
interests me. That kind of perks my ear up a little bit. And I'm like, collectathon? You talking about like Banjo Kazooie? What are we talking here?
yeah.
Yeah, I would play a collectathon. Like that sounds appealing right about now.
The moment gameplay looks pretty neat. Like some of the traversal stuff looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
But what's the game? It's like a turn-based RPG, right?
I have no idea.
I think the collectathon stuff comes from like because you're an alchemist, so I think it's like collecting like ingredients, right? That's where the collectathon stuff comes in.
Might have to like play one of these games at some point. I had
Well,
one of
you
these on
start.
PS3.
Yeah.
Yeah, PS3 I had one. I don't remember which one, but
Yeah, the combat's like a turn-based RPG, it looks like. Some very flashy animations, though.
so if you pre-order now, you get the straw hat and the flower crown.
And last but not least, March 24th, we have Resident Evil 4 releasing on PC, PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series X. I think I might like pre-order that game, honestly. I already have like a good bit of money. It was my birthday recently, so I got some money. I think I'm just gonna pre-order it and just play it when it comes out because that game's already getting like 10 out of 10s, dude. And everyone's saying how great it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm picking this up. Have you played the demo yet?
No,
Bro, go play the demo. It's good. It's like really, really good.
I'll play the demo when it comes out. I mean, I'll play the game. I still have to finish Resident Evil 2 and 3.
Um, fine. I'm gonna pick up Resident Evil 4 when it comes out, depending on how that day goes. I might stream it, but it depends. Like,
Do you think that they're gonna go back and do Resident Evil 5 after this again, or
I
do
don't
you
know.
think that's recent enough to where they don't have to bother?
I think it's recent enough to not have to bother because that was the first HD Resident Evil game, so
Yeah,
I don't think they would try to remake any of the HD Resident Evil games. They might. I don't know. I don't know what Capcom's planning.
because that Hamtaro says need Code Veronica or a new multiplayer like Outbreak.
Yeah, I would have my money on like Code Veronica remake, honestly. And what they should do, because you have basically like a partner through the whole game, but you're like separating all the time, is they should remake that game, but with a co-op element. Like just have your partner be there all the time. Like do what they did with Resident Evil 5, but with Code Veronica.
Yeah,
I don't know how well that would work though, with how the story's played out, but it'd be cool.
yeah. I think games have well, just with the like Haze Light games with like It Takes Two and stuff like that, where it's like made to be a multiplayer game. They could do something like that. Now that there's better examples of that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
I think they can go back and look at those games as examples to see how to do a game like that in
yeah,
Resident Evil style. So
yeah. I think it'd be cool. I mean, they kind of did that with Revelations 2 because you had that game had two characters all the time, and one of them like couldn't use guns. So, but they had a flashlight. They could use that flashlight to like spot hidden items. So you had one player that was like shooting all the zombies, another player was like finding all the items. But that player that was finding the items also had like a melee weapon that was kind of shitty up close. You had something to defend yourself with. But if a monster was knocked down, you could finish them off with that melee weapon. So there was some like gameplay there. So one person was doing all the work, like you guys had to work together. But that's a pretty good example of it. At least I think it is. I played that whole thing multiplayer with my brother, and we had a pretty fun time with it, both swapping between characters. So that's something that could work, I think. But we'll see, man. That remake is going to be incredible. It's already getting great reviews. I'm going to pick that shit up day one. Might stream it. It depends. I'll probably have the baby that day, and depending on how he's feeling, I don't want to like stop the stream every like 20, 30 minutes to go like take care of a crying baby. So we'll see. But no, it's gonna do it for the show, man. I'm excited for that Resident Evil 4 remake. I can't wait for that to come out. I'm excited for the System Shock remake when that finally drops. But that's gonna do it for the show, man. Tell people where they can find us.
That's it, guys. You can go to Gameoverse.com. You can go to Gameoverse.com/Twitch, Gameoverse.com/YouTube, Gameoverse.com/Discord. Hop in there, talk to us. Yeah, play some video games with us.
Yeah, everybody come say hi. We're always responding.
I might fuck around and order a double down from KFC so I can get a beta code for Diablo.
I heard about that. So that's what the beta codes are from. If you order like a double down,
or you can just buy the game. You can pre-order the game and get one, or you can order a double down. So I might have to do that because that game is looking pretty good. So
it is looking good. So I might pick it up. We'll see though. I'm gonna play so many games. In the meantime, everybody, be cool, be safe, be excellent to each other, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.